Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Salutations, McDonald's. That's how I'm greeting people now, McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah. Whenever someone comes up to me, be like, yo, what's up? Be like, McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
That's how I'm greeting people. Welcome to Let the Madness Begin. William Coleman, Marshawn Taylor.
Oh, McDonald's do you too, by the way.
Exactly. Because you think about it, some of your happiest memories revolves McDonald's.
I don't know about that, but okay.
So if I say, yo, McDonald's, usually it's going to be like, oh, yeah, yo, I remember when the Big Macs were this big. Yeah. Now it was just that small.
Yeah, when they were using real hamburger meat.
Yeah.
Or ground beef.
Ain't nothing wrong with cat. We've been eating cat ever since we've been eating Chinese food. That's facts. We're not lying. You ain't never seen no chicken leg that small.
Mm. She go to Japan.
That's cat.
No.
It's okay. I'm cool with
it. A chicken leg like that big.
Oh, those are good. We wonder why these girls run around here at 10 with breasts. Let's hold that topic, man. You know, all the stuff we put in our food. Man, how's today been, man? How's life?
Productive, man. Very productive.
That's what's up. It's beautiful outside. Well, it's about to rain here, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm about to fall out of the sky.
Yeah, but still, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So, you brought me a topic.
Yeah, man.
Explain this topic.
Well, with the long story short, your favorite rapper in the world, who you think is the best, greatest all time?
Mace.
Young Thug. Thugalicious. Thug Madness.
Thugnificent.
He feels
magnificent.
Close enough. You should have kids if you are not broke. Now, you can interpret one of two ways. Is you mean broke as in, because people gotta understand what I mean. When you mean you can be broke but not broke. But in his terms, I'm not sure he clarified if it has to be in. You got to be at least the 6 digits, or you got to be sure a millionaire, or you just can't be jobless and homeless and making babies. Which that scenario I can understand that applies to, but I have to go for the first of the two, in a sense, because I think in a sense he feels he's in a position now, as opposed to whenever back when, he can afford to make as many babies as he feels. For as he thinks he feels. Because kids are expensive regardless. How much money you make, they're going to cost. But just because you're in a certain tax bracket, you start to smell yourself a little bit now. A little bit too much.
Kind of like how, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels got men thinking they have value.
Is he alive or not?
He died.
Has it been confirmed?
It has been confirmed.
Oh.
I don't know how he died, but
you feel you still heartbroken?
No. Honestly, I don't care.
Because you wanted to debate him so bad, you're gonna cry into your pillow, scream.
You know what's funny? I'm glad you brought that part up. Someone made a great statement. They said, did he die how he told these women they were gonna die? Alone.
Well, somebody must have found him, so obviously he wasn't alone.
They found him. But that don't mean that he was alone when
Who
he
found
died.
him, though? Who found him?
Exactly.
Might be one of his women. Might have been all his women at one time. They would come over at one time,
Nah, it would have been out by now.
They celebrate his birthday,
Heard it was cardiac arrest.
So maybe he got finished getting some.
I'm not debating that. I mean, I'm just saying, no, honestly, I don't like nobody to die or anything like that, so I feel sorry for his family on that, but I call that the Kevin Samuels effect, where you finally reached a certain plateau and now all of a sudden you feel like you can preach, but where was that preachiness when you wasn't there? Because the message is still the message, but why wait to give the message when you're actually at a point of benefit? Like for instance, the reason why people get mad at Jay-Z, they're like, you're telling me not to spend my money, but then you make a song called Money Ain't a Thing. So how you going to tell me?
Let's stick with the subject.
No, but it goes, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Hold on, but see, now you're I got a point, but that's Jay-Z back then asking better now. See, you
now think about what Young Thug said.
Hold on.
Because that's how if you say Jay-Z, that's the same pass you give Jay-Z, you have to give Young Thug, and which is even though you have a point.
Why you give him a pass?
No, what I'm saying is if you said that was Jay-Z younger, then Young Thug is looking at it from being younger too. So when he make his statement, he's like, when I was younger, I may have had babies and couldn't take care of them. I may have seen my friends with children that they couldn't take care of. So understanding the importance of having financial.
I don't think that was his approach though.
How you know? We can't judge intent.
Call him and ask him. You got his number?
I don't have his number. I don't. You know I didn't even know what he said.
Don't y'all Duke fans? Don't y'all hang out in the same places?
He wear that colorful Carolina blue dress.
I wouldn't care for that.
It was Carolina blue dress on that album cover. It really was. We're gonna find that picture. It was beautiful Carolina blue.
Look it up now.
It was beautiful Carolina blue. But
it was a beautiful Duke pink. Oh, we say that blue. If you want to call it. Support breast cancer. Sure, buddy.
I agree to a certain extent as far as.
But I'm gonna put it this way: nobody can afford kids anyway, regardless of how much money you make. Kids are not affordable.
Yes and no.
No, they're not.
They are when you.
You think about material things now.
No, I'm thinking about the whole thing. I think we have to understand material things help.
But I'm not talking about material though. I'm not talking about just material.
But you can't see the problem we have is we think, once again, it's that mentality of suffering. No, you're not supposed to incur debt to be successful.
No, but it's not a matter of incurring debt.
It is. When you have a child, that's a debt.
That's not a debt.
How?
It's not a debt. Who do you owe?
The child. You owe the child the responsibility of making sure it
becomes not a debt.
That's a debt.
It's not a debt, man. So it's not a debt.
Why is not a debt?
It's not a debt.
You go to school and incur a debt to be successful.
That's school. That's this institution. Your child is not an institution.
Your child is an
institution. Your child is not an institution.
Okay, then let's get back to it. He's not lying. You should not, if you cannot financially take care of a child, you should not have a child.
I can see what you're saying.
And I don't care how much love you have in the world. Love does not dictate how finances work.
But you can have all the money world still not afford a child.
No, that's different because what you're trying to equate love and that they're not the same.
It's not. We're not talking about love, Joe. We're talking about the whole.
How? So you tell me right now there are kids right now who are in a financially stable environment and they can't be afforded.
Yeah. Because you can never get a child everything they want.
That's different. See, that's you're adding to the situation.
No, I'm not adding to the situation.
Yes, you are. Because it's like you keep adding.
So how am I adding to the situation? What am I talking about?
So
you have an idea. What am I talking about?
So you said this. What you said. You can never give a child everything. Well, we're not talking about giving a child everything. What he's talking about is the basic needs of taking care of a child. If you cannot fulfill the basic needs of taking care of a child, but you should not have one.
That we talk about the latter. I said this.
But you can't. You don't know that.
How do you know? How do you not know?
Because even you said in the interview, you could pick and choose which way. You choose to choose from the way of him looking at it like you have to make six figures.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is what I'm saying is he's not saying that. He's saying that.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but you watched it. It still got mixed feelings about it. So that lets me know he didn't outright say that. Now, if he had said the six-figure part,
where your phone at? Where your phone at? Where your phone at?
If he said the six-figure part,
downstairs.
I would be like, okay, that is messed up because I don't think money.
Let's play it first. And this be your interpretation.
Thuggalicious.
You're a hero. I think he's a Christian Laettner fan too.
Nah, he's more like a Babcock.
No, we don't play him.
Just because he was at the Met Gala. Dang, everybody went to that Met Gala.
Yeah, he got his favorite Duke color on feet. Yeah, let's play it. Let's see what he has to say. This could be a reaction video / let's talk about it. Let's discuss it.
Okay. No, they had the text version of it. I'll read it.
Read it.
So, I mean, so if he started off with this, then we're having a different conversation because it's two things in one.
Go ahead.
So the first thing apparently he said is you should not be able to nut if you are dead broke.
That I can understand.
So that's a different conversation. That's
what I'm saying.
That's different. Now, this is what he came up with. I guess after that, he said, you bringing poor kids into this world and you're making niggas rob and kill and steal because you running around with no type of career, no nothing. Your kids growing up looking at Thug and his game. That's another conversation. So he's not saying six figures. That's not what he's saying. So reality is it's a lot of stuff.
So Marshawn, answer this question. Do you make six figures, Marshawn?
But he didn't say six figures.
Marshawn, answer the question.
Do I make six figures?
Okay.
No, I don't.
Let's do that.
Well, I'm gonna finish.
Well, okay, finish that. I thought you were done. Finish me this.
Apparently, he got more.
He got so much groundbreaking stuff to say. My blowing. Go ahead. We got so many.
Okay. So I guess he went after women too. You can't want top tier situations and you're the bottom of the barrel. Bitches be dead ass broke wanting a Birkin bag. He added before asking if they were going to put the Birkin bag in the Uber.
He's Kevin Samuels now. Kevin Samuels died. He just.
I'm not. But go ahead now. Say what you're gonna say.
Now,
apparently that was.
That's all great. The great mind blowing thing he had to say.
Yeah, apparently that was it.
So what is poor to him?
I can't answer that
because there's people that make as much money as you make and I make and still can't afford kids, whether it's 1, 2, or 10.
If you can't afford your responsibility,
but he's not talking about responsibility though. He said afford,
which is your responsibility. Now, how he clarified, now how he started it. Now that's a whole nother conversation about.
They could be playing. You can take it.
Yeah, that was an issue where it started off because that's not the first time I heard it. That's actually I think I hear more women say that like broke men don't deserve sex. Now the interpretation of broke, if that's the argument, what we're saying.
Yeah, what is your interpretation?
My interpretation of broke is a person who's at a point where it's more debt to income. In other words, your debt has superseded how much you make. So you're not living check to check don't make you broke. Living at a point where that check can't meet your needs make you broke.
Okay.
So that's my interpretation. Adding a child, which by the way, as a person that's been on child support can tell you, the figures at the time that I was on child support, by the time Nani was supposed to be 18, was supposed to reach around $200,000. That's how much I was supposed to give in child support.
You know how much it they say it typically costs us to raise a child?
How much?
About $200,000.
Okay.
So it's about right.
Okay. So basically, but that's from two parents. This is one.
But think about it. You were supposed to either way, you were supposed to make up for two parents with your child support according to the court.
Now think about what you said, right?
Right.
So
the question: could you at the time? Could you afford it?
No, I had to get a second job.
Okay.
Think about what I just said. Right. I had to get a second
job to afford
to make sure that I did not go to jail.
Yes. Go to jail.
Exactly. So even in the midst of that, what he's saying is not a lie. If I had to get a second job to pay child support at a rate of, by the time I turn 18, $200,000, anybody that makes less than me, come on now. So we have to be realistic, and I think that's the problem with.
So you think he was being realistic?
I think he was being,
based on what you're saying, how you interpret it, he's being realistic.
He's not all the way, because he's being realistic from his vantage point.
Because now he can afford to have as many kids as he can.
True, to a point, he can.
To a certain extent, he can afford. And I'll get to what I mean by afford. But go ahead, finish what you're saying.
So he's not lying. I believe you should go around telling people that. No, I'm not gonna go around telling someone who makes $10,000 a year you can't have no kids. That's not for me. Whatever you can afford, you take. But one thing I do not agree with, and this is something that I struggle with, is it's one thing falling on hard times,
Right.
but nobody should grow up on public assistance.
I agree.
So if you having a child, and number one, if you have a child, and as a two parents, you can't afford a child. What I mean by that is if you got the father on child support and you living in Section 8 and all the getting food stamps and stuff, then you don't deserve
You're right.
the child.
But those are choices we choose to make.
Right.
Because like you said, you took 2 jobs even to cover down on your child support.
Right.
Not to say whatever bills you had to make.
Yeah.
Make do.
It was hard. I'm telling people it was hard because they start you off in the rears.
So in a sense, technically he was talking to people that don't make a sense. Let's say 6 figures. Let's say mid to high 5 figures. Like you, like ourselves.
And one thing he said, which actually makes the most sense out of it, is, and I think this is where the interpretation gets kind of scary, and this is why I say I don't agree with what he said or why he said I don't agree with it. However, for us to talk about it, I will bring this up because I have to give him credit on this. He said you don't have a career. So he even recognized the fact that there's a difference between a job and a career. So what he's saying is that you're not giving them a reliable source to look at, because he even referenced that by saying you bring your children in this world to have them rob and steal and kill. What do we talk about? Why do people join gangs?
Why do people join gangs?
Because number one, they claim the father's not in the home. Number two, they claim that they're trying to bring home money for the mother because they see her struggling. Number three, they don't have any structure. So what he is saying, which is the scary part, is that you brought this child in the world to not be able to take care of them. Because if you could take care of your child, they shouldn't be doing that. Which he's right.
He's right, but in the sense, he's like the kettle calling the pot black, or the pot calling the kettle black.
And that's what makes it beautiful, because he's realizing the mistakes his mother made.
So, just to go back on, Jay-Z realized the mistake he was making.
Right.
We talk about money. And
no. I don't have an issue with that.
Compared, because you still hold it against that man.
No.
And the man realized his mistake.
No,
that's why he said in 444, stop going the damn money ear to your phone, money phone to your ear. What should you be holding to your ear?
No, I'm not doubting that part. But what I said is in what he's doing, and I have no issue. We're supposed to grow. I wouldn't expect Jay-Z to be doing what other rappers do now. That's stupid. You're above that.
Regressing?
Yes.
You 44, you still run around thinking you a blood.
Exactly.
You getting jumped into gangs and stuff.
Exactly. I don't expect Jay-Z to do that. However, my point with him is that you never officially came out and said this, I did do this. I made these mistakes.
He did say that.
No, he didn't.
In Izzo, he did say that.
See, that's the problem. We want to put it in songs and then wonder why nobody hears it.
I heard it loud and clear.
You heard it, but you listen to Jay-Z. These kids ain't listening to Jay-Z. That's his first mistake. 50 Cent was right. Ain't no kid listening to Jay-Z. 50 Cent told him that 10 years ago. So they definitely ain't listening to him now. So, and who are you mentoring?
He mentored Nas. Nas making a lot of money.
He did not mentor Nas. That's the biggest lie. Nas was already in his route to be famous. He never mentored Nas.
We ain't talking about rapper wise.
No. I mean, business wise, Nas.
Nas just started making money.
That's a lie.
How long he been making money?
He's been making money.
Since when?
Just because he don't talk about it.
Since when? Since when, my son?
Look him up. Nas is not dumb, man. Nas is not dumb.
He's making crazy money now because
a lot of stuff is panning out now. There's a difference. I think that's the problem because we don't see the initial.
I got you.
It's like the tree. You plant the tree, you don't see it. It takes 50 years.
I got you. So whoever planted the tree?
It wasn't Jay-Z.
Okay.
It wasn't Jay-Z. It's not Jay-Z. Not saying that he didn't see him from afar, and there's nothing wrong with that. And to be honest with you, Jay-Z wasn't the first power move. No, he wasn't. So there's plenty of other people that was making power moves that probably wasn't even speaking music. And I think that's a lot of times that's where we make our mistake. With Jay-Z, the same issue I would have with Thug is I hear you, but who are you mentoring? It's easy to say these things from your vantage point. It's easy for Jay-Z to say that from his vantage point, and that's what my issue was. Saying you're at that point. It's easy.
So okay. So question is, do you think Thug should stop talking and just walk it,
right?
And walk some people through it.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the thing. And that's the thing.
I agree.
It's aggravating a lot of times. It's not times, and necessarily. And I keep telling you, a lot of times we shouldn't necessarily broadcast what we are and are not doing. So he may well be doing that for all we know, and he just puts that forth.
And that's why I have the issue at.
Because my thing is, why do you, like I said, why should we always broadcast what we do on our grade?
Because you're willing to broadcast everything else. So if you're willing to make a statement like that, the least you can do is back it up with facts. And the facts to back it up with is what you're doing. See, that's the problem with people. So, I don't need to know, but if you volunteered that. I didn't know what he was thinking about.
Volunteering a solution, so you should have some facts to back
right.
up.
If you volunteered
so
that,
everybody's coming into the world robbing, thugging, and killing people
because he was around them.
So
he was with them.
So at one point he was what?
He was either he grew up in a.
He was
broke.
Okay.
Right. And just like Jay-Z.
So
broke.
How many? So is he speaking from
both? Probably from experience and probably from seeing it. And the one thing I like to say in that is, if we're honest, what rapper has said that they're selling drugs for their father?
I don't know. You tell me.
None. What artist has ever said they out there pushing weight to bring home food for their father? None. It's always the mother. Always keep that in the back of your mind. No male has ever said that. They have never said that.
I'm gonna do my research.
Somebody
sold drugs for their daddy.
Yo, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? Daddy
Trick
working.
Daddy sold drugs for their dad.
My dad working 4 or 5 jobs, I gotta hit the block. Ain't nobody giving a damn. But mom working 4 or 5 jobs, I gotta hit the block. That's a fact. That's what's going on. So
I got it. Jay from Good Times. He was about to hit the block with the game, with the G.
He was forced to. Even in that episode, he was forced to.
Hit the block to make it happen because dad was working 4 jobs, mama was crying.
They bullied him into it. He got jumped in because of the situation.
Got jumped in. That's right.
But I don't like. I guess the thing is when you have that advantage point, it's easy to see the mistakes, and even I have to stop myself sometimes when I talk to people.
So is he talking from a? It's not jaded. So from a, he's talking from a blinded. You know, he's talking with blinders on because of where he's at now.
It can be kind of like Kyrie, and some things he say. It's like, you don't see everything. Like if you saw everything, then you realize that, and I'm only using this as an example, you can quit on your team and walk away and still get paid millions. You have millions to walk on, but that average person who you claim that you're standing up for, that's a life or death decision of getting the shot. Because it changes your whole life. You, I'm not going to, I don't feel like it's not in my spirit. All this Erykah Badu bull crap. But the real person has to say, yo, if I don't do this, I don't bring a paycheck in my home. This is really affecting my life.
Right.
Now, we can debate and this is why I said, I don't need to know what you're doing. I don't need to know what you're doing with your life. I don't need to know that because I'm not the type of person. I don't care what a person does in their life. However, if like Kyrie said, I'm doing this for people, show me now, because your words and actions are not matching in the public sight. If you got the balls to tell me that this weighs you down, do you have the balls to have a solution? Did you set up a fund for people? Did you donate money?
So what is Young Thug's solution?
That's what I'm saying. That with Thug, it's like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Because you know what it sounds to me? To somebody as wise as I did, interview or whatever, you just, nah.
Well, I think part of that, I guess, the Birkin part, I guess he was buying a Birkin and, he was mad because he bought a Birkin. I don't know. I just, certain things.
He needed him and Cam need to get together and find a better circle of women to hang around. And that's the thing. And see, and this is the thing that doesn't get me is we supposedly upgraded our lives, but we don't upgrade our circles.
Oh, hold up. Because we're going to segue into this, and I like
Right.
where you're going.
Right.
Do we need to? Is it that he upgraded his circle, or are you a prisoner of what you claim you can do? Because you came out and said
he's not a prisoner of what he can do. He's a prisoner of the mind state in which he grew up and the mindset in which he grew up.
Okay, I get that part, but when you make songs calling niggas broke and I can pay this and I can pay that,
so now we're back on the broke thing now. You see what I'm saying?
No. I never doubted that.
But exactly, because that's the point. Because think about it. And now that I listen to any of these songs, I can guarantee you he can tell you broke if he was on the same level that he was or close to it.
No. Him almost 95% of all these rappers, to include Jay-Z, have songs calling all of us broke.
You know what?
We're all broke.
Jay-Z never called me broke. He never said, William Coleman, you're broke.
He said
my Sean Taylor might be broke.
What Biggie say? Why your man with his job at the airport, I be tuning in. Yeah, because he's letting you know you broke.
Well, if you work at the airport, you broke. I don't work at the airport.
Why you gotta be broke if you work at the airport? You could be a millionaire working at the airport. You can have 6 figures working at the airport.
He must be like the top level guys.
Or he done carved out a nice life that he may be working at the airport, but he got other things going on. See,
whatever.
But
back to the same, okay, I got
but so when you get a girl, because this is the thing, as guys, once again, we're stupid. You go out here and you make a song and you say, I could buy you anything, just throw it in the bag. And then you get a girl. What do you think? You think she wants to be on your arm if you're not throwing it in the bag? You just made a song about throwing it in the bag. She's not with you unless you could throw it in the bag. You a prisoner of what you said. You actually
you're a prisoner of a moment. You should be.
Actually, yeah. You know what? This is really gonna be good. And I love it. And I just thought about this. If you have the same power as God, and the God says life or death is in the power of the tongue, what you think you're speaking? You spoke her into existence.
Right.
So you can't get mad when she wants what you spoke. I didn't speak Birkin bag in my life. So she's not gonna come to me.
Right.
She's gonna come to you. And you can't get mad at that because you created that. As men, we created that. You told her to throw it in the bag. You told her you take her on a shopping spree. You told her that you fly her out. You told her these things. I didn't tell her that. So now you get mad because they want me for my money. Well, that's all you told her. You didn't tell her about a degree. You didn't tell her about growing flowers. You didn't tell her about nothing else. You told her what you can do, what you're gonna get.
Okay, good point.
And you told her I was broke, so she definitely ain't gonna want me.
Well, you work at the airport, so yeah. That's right. Jay-Z said you were broke because you work there. Yeah. I don't work at the airport, so I don't broke. I work at McDonald's. And I get free food, and I get to wear a uniform. That's right.
And you got good insurance.
And good insurance. And then if I work there long enough in the management program, I get a degree in Hamburg review.
That's true, which is actually a 2-year degree, and you get set up with your own little establishment.
That's right. That's right. And I get a business. What you got? That's McDonald's slinging.
I get to fly everywhere.
Fly everywhere
for free.
For free. It's your broke ass.
I don't like when people do this, and I always link it to Kevin Samuels, even though rest in peace to him. That effect of now that I'm at this point, I can knock you.
And I think that's what it is with it. You know, he's knocking. Look, dog, you were at one point you started from the bottom to where you're at now, and that's the thing is I think in a way, in my opinion, he then turned his nose up sideways,
and I can see that,
you know, and that's I think it's more of a thing to me. You can, and that's what goes back. We're saying we're a bunch of hypocrites because now you're talking from a stand
being judgmental.
Being judgmental.
Yeah, you really
your
are.
point just being judgmental because at one point, a hypocrite and judgmental because at one point you were in the same position as these broke people. Now you no longer, you just wake up and you make a couple $1,000s at any given time.
That's why I respect Joe Buttons a lot more now than I probably ever did because he's very honest to a fault. We're following a society of people who are lying.
So it goes back. We remember we had this discussion all the time. It always segues in the discussion why people do the things they do. Because some, like you said, you're not happy with your life, so you feel you got to pretend or angle it in a way to where you can bear to live it the way you live it.
Yeah, and Memphis Bleak which by the way I think is a very underrated rapper. And one day we'll talk about his accomplishment to rap and how good he really was.
His what to rap?
His contribution to rap.
His contribution.
The Understanding is a classic album.
He just took up more space.
Whatever. He was really dope.
Doper than who? Name somebody who's doper than. Let me see where your head is at. Give me 5 good rappers. We got a few minutes. Well, give me five good ones.
5 good rappers. He was better than.
Right.
Petey Crack.
Okay.
Oskino and Spark.
What's up? Nat and Rockefeller.
Okay.
That's too easy.
All right. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be controversial. Bar for bar, I think he was better than Ludacris.
Okay.
I think Ludacris has a better flow.
Just give me 5. We'll go and discuss. Just give me 5. We'll talk about it another time. Write it down.
So, Trick Daddy.
That's too easy. But no, Trick Daddy is,
Yeah. Juvenile.
Nah.
I think he was better than Juvenile. Now,
what?
I think the problem is that every time we think of Bleak, we think of Jay-Z.
So now there's a lot of these down south rappers. What about New York rappers?
I'm about to get to New York,
Okay.
but I'm just
this
is during that time frame. So
okay.
because he did a song with Juvie.
He did a song with Trick Daddy.
Yeah. So and he actually was flowing pretty good on the song. So New York wise, let's see who.
Cameron was better than Cameron.
That's not fair.
Holy moly.
He was better. He was better than the second version of Cameron. Not sports, drug, and entertainment Cameron, but Dipset Cameron. Yes, he was better.
Who else?
There's gonna be another controversial one. I think he was better than Joel Santana.
Wow. Okay.
I think Bleak is so underrated. Like, like when you really listen to him, like you just gotta listen to him without Jay-Z.
We'll talk about this later, but we'll for another time.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's continue on with the discussion.
But I think the problem we have is that we have revisionist history. So we leave out the part where we played
prior to us
exactly
upgrading our lifestyle. Being upgraded, as they say in the Beyonce song.
Oh yeah, upgraded. Now all of a sudden we forget the struggle.
Right.
So, and like I said, for me, that was something that I had to, think about. So when I'm talking to younger people, anything, I have to realize, look, they may actually go through it. Why? Because I went through it. Not a lack of mentors. It's sometimes a lack of understanding. It's a lack of actually grasping. Most importantly, it's a bull going against another bull.
So how about this? So maybe you should have said, you need to get a better understanding of the cost of creating a family.
Yes.
That you're jobless. No, it's more cheaper for you to strap up than it is for you to have to take care of a child.
Yes.
Or God forbid, say you decide to abort a child.
Right. You absolutely want to say if he worded it differently.
Right.
I even think if he would have said, I understand you want to go out there, where you're young, you feel like your life is invisible and this, that, third, but be cautious because having a family is serious.
Yeah.
And I would have respected him on that. I don't think you should automatically call somebody broke. I do agree with you only from the standpoint of this. You can have all the finances in the world, but if you're not ready to have a child,
don't be taking my. Don't be taking. See, you now you try to steal.
No, but I said those were two different conversations.
No.
Let me finish. I just gave you credit.
I know you did, but you.
And I'm giving you credit.
Now you're trying to take some of what I was trying to
No.
Go ahead, finish. Okay. Go ahead, finish. Just see, that's why he was cutting me off. Because that's why you see.
No, I was just saying with the money.
Okay. I'll let you have it.
This, and I do agree with this, and you can't just give a child money.
Right.
There has to be other things. So like I said, I do agree with you on that standpoint, but I think finances is I think we lean more to the other side in our community as we have all the love and stuff and forget that the finances should come. However, I do think in other communities, it's more the finances and they leave out some of the love. Because if you talk to some people who come from different backgrounds and they talk about their growing up, they'll be like, yeah, I had this, I had that, but I didn't have my father's affection or my mother's affection or my father wasn't there for my games and stuff like that. And you're like, you realize even though they grew up in a situation that you feel like was favorable, even they could see, they just look at you and be like, your mother loves you. And that to them is amazing. They're like, oh my God, you have a home cooked meal every night.
So, that's wrong with nobody hugged them enough. Nobody
it could be.
Give them
Honestly, I think a lot of black men need hugs. And I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago. I'd be like, hug, but no, I think a lot of them need hugs. I honestly do.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
Is that what's wrong with maybe rest in peace, Kevin Samuels?
Yeah, he needed a hug. I just don't like. There's only a certain
black men, y'all need hugs.
You know what? We should write a book. I think Three-Headed Monster could be on this one. That's the name of a new podcast, Three-Headed Monster. Yeah,
okay.
But truthfully, I think that growing up, and this will sound really messed up, but this is true. Right? This is the 90s.
No, you haven't said that stuff before. When we last.
What was the knock on men when we was growing up? You gay, little dick,
well, being a
broke. No. What I'm saying is that's how you attack.
Right.
That's what women used to attack men with.
Right.
So why am I hearing this from men?
What?
That's what Kevin Samuels. No, that's what Kevin Samuels did. No, Kevin Samuels, you broke. Young Thug, you broke. Why are men saying that to men instead of saying, if you feel like somebody's at a financial disadvantage and you feel like you have the keys, why not share the keys? Still calling them broke.
That's another whole conversation itself.
But that's the problem.
Even with like you said, you showing us, and that's what I tell you a lot of times. We like I said, my solution to what he said. What is your solution to fix the problem?
Right. I agree with you.
What is your contribution? And like I said, maybe and a lot of things we need to understand is sometimes the solution is providing the time and guidance as opposed to the finances and the resources. Because sometimes the time is the resources which they need. That presence is what somebody would require.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on board with you on that.
So, but resources do matter, but sometimes resources is the time and the personnel willing to spend the time to do it. And then, like I said, and then on the other hand, who will be proud to provide the resources to, it's got to be open to receive them wholeheartedly. Because Big Brother programs are cool, but at the same time, are these kids being put in order to accept guidance, or are they put in because their mom feels they need a proper male figure,
which is not 10 out of 10,
right? Proper male figure, but they're not sure of where to find them. Because my thing is, you should be present all the time, not necessarily always around them, not just on certain weekends.
This is my theory about those programs.
You know what I'm thinking that?
Yeah. And this is one thing I'll say. If I ever had a program, and this is the truth, and I thought about this, your child could not be in my program unless the father was involved. And the only way the father could not be involved is, number one, we do not know where he's at, or number two, he's in jail. But if he's dead.
Right.
If he's in that community, he has to be involved. And the reason why I say that is because nothing I do to that child matters, but what that father does is different. So if I can work with the father to work with the child, that makes more sense. I can never replace the father. There's people right now who are 50 years old who had great mentors, but you know what they talk about? Missing their father. Because there's no man on earth that can replace Shaq. Even he had a great stepfather. His stepdad did everything.
You said at one point you thought that was his real dad.
Exactly, but it still had that question about your father. Right. So if I can have a program, but see, most black men won't do that because number one, you're scared of the black woman. That's a whole nother topic. But
you scared of a black woman?
No, because they don't like me. Can't be scared of who don't like. But I think that would be important with that. And that's something that Young Thug can do. That's why I said, I don't care what you do in life. You don't have to tell me all your great philanthropy in this life. But however, if you have the nerve to tell me I'm broke and I shouldn't do this, I have the right to ask you, what are you doing?
Yeah, and that's and a lot of people think, I don't necessarily mean, hey, give me $1 million,
right,
or give me X amount of dollars. Like you said, what is your solution?
It's easy to point out the problem.
Like I said, Cam, what is the solution?
And he still hadn't came up with one.
What is your solution? You had an excellent solution to what I can say, because I love the Big Brothers program all day, every day. But if it's not a forward thinking process. It's a thing of present here and now, because your big brother can be there today, and then all of a sudden when it's the weekend again, something comes up.
Right. I take it a step further, and we just keep it above. The only children in those programs that get the attention that they really need are the ones that are athletically gifted.
I got you.
If you're not athletically gifted, they're not going to really give you that time because they can't benefit off you.
I can see that.
And a lot of these programs, time and time again, when they get a child that looks like they could be something, all of a sudden they get all the resources. And them men will forego their own families and that would be there. But if it's just a regular child, then you get that.
So you mean to tell me, if you saw the next LeBron James, Michael Jordan, you just leave that kid alone?
I wouldn't leave him alone. I would still give. I will hope and pray that I would give him the same attention that I would do anybody else. But you see it in times where some kids get more attention because of those gifts.
Okay.
Like LeBron James probably wasn't in those programs growing up, but when they saw him play basketball, I was saying you can keep a man from his mother's doorstep.
Right.
And I think that's the difference. When they see unless the mother's sexy, let me keep it real. If the mother's sexy, then you can't keep a man from her door. But if the child's that gifted, then they should have a revolving. And this is not me saying that they're messing around. This is just me saying that the attention is more geared towards that, when you can still have more attention. And I think that's what's wrong with these programs. But if we look at Young Thug, what's the easiest way to show that you really care about your what you say? You change your platform. So
change the music, change the stance.
Where's that family music at? Where's that? I'm married now, I got my children, you know what I'm saying? We living like we doing Black Banks, you know what I'm saying? Where's that music at? Thugger?
I don't know. You talked to him, you had a conversation with him yet?
I had that conversation with
him. Hit him up on Facebook or
Snapchat. Pusha T been selling drugs since the 90s, it feels like. Cornrows and selling drugs. He ain't let none of them two go. Now, he's been the president of a whole record company, and he's still out there selling drugs. But you know what his brother did?
He's selling dope records. That's what
he's selling dope records. And he Diet Coke. I rocked the heck out of that Diet Coke. His brother felt that, and not only changed his platform, he changed his name to remove himself from that.
Okay.
So, yes, we know him from Clips. Yes, we know him as Malice, but he answers to no malice, and he's really out there spreading his music, even if it doesn't give him the notoriety. How many of us are willing to give up the notoriety? Because we both know Thug would sell millions of records killing Black men, but how many records will he sell? I can't confirm or deny. I don't know what he does. I know he had that beautiful Carolina.
Yeah, pull it up.
That beautiful Carolina blue dress on, and that on that album cover, which was dope. I was like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah, what if it's a New Jersey?
It's not a.
I'm waiting. That's not the cover.
That was the cover of the album.
That was not the cover of the album.
That was the cover of the album.
And that's royal blue. The lighting is jacked up on it.
Nah, it flows into Carolina blue. Yeah, that's pretty. But he got the Carolina blue Jordans on it too, killing it.
He's a Duke fan though. A lot of Duke fans wear Carolina blue stuff. Yeah, just like you got a Carolina blue something in your house.
This is the home jersey for y'all.
No, that definitely is a home jersey.
But I just don't. I think it's easy to bash. It's easy to come out and say you broke, and I do agree with you. And I, as much as I argued in the beginning, I will say this: his definition of broke is under what he makes.
Right.
That
if you got the same circles, the same parties,
that's his definition of broke.
Same bedroom. Let's see him with.
Because you don't make that statement unless who are you making that statement to? You're not making that statement to Elon Musk.
No.
You definitely ain't making that statement to Warren Buffett.
No.
You are not making that statement to any president of any company, any CEO, any coach. You make it to your fans who are under your salary. Which begs the question, why are we so abusive to our own people?
Good question, my son. Why are we abusive to old people? Because everybody else is abusive, so we got to continue the cycle. We don't know, you would understand anything else but suffering. The only thing we're conditioned to handle is suffering.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
This is what it is. You think about it.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
It always goes back to why we eat chitlins, why we eat bacon, why we eat the hog maws, why we. Come on now.
No, I agree with you. I mean, chitlins.
It's a survivor food.
I do agree with you on that. It's a survivor food. Yeah, that's the sad part.
Think about it. They don't eat, even though because you think about it, even though they do eat pork or whatever in Europe,
not like that though.
They don't eat it the way
we
eat. It's here.
So you're right. It is survival mode, and this is just a stupid question because I thought about this because it was another question I asked. Who was the first person that said, "I'm that hungry that I'm going to clean it to eat it"? Just like who's the first person that said, "I'm gonna suck on a cow's nipples"?
And I'm gonna start it. And it probably didn't start out. Somebody said, "I'm gonna clean it first."
Okay.
Somebody probably ate it and then realized that
you're right.
But they came to the realization that, well, damn, this is a piece of testing. We have a testing. What goes through our testings? Shit.
Yeah.
After it's been through the stomach and everything broken down.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes realization. So I'm pretty sure somebody got some people got sick from eating it.
Yeah, died and everything.
Then they realized, you know what? Maybe we need to clean this thing first, and then go from there.
Okay, I agree.
If you think about it, you gotta clean this shit with bleach before you eat it.
That's crazy.
Bleach and vinegar.
That's crazy.
It is. And not a lot of bleach, just enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got it,
you got to clean with bleach. You really got to think twice of eating it. I do agree.
And the people do. I know people that do clean shit with bleach. My mom used to do it with vinegar though, but still.
Yeah. Once you realize what chillin' is, it does change your perception on why are we still eating this.
Right. It's survival food.
No,
I think about it. Same as I said, hey, you can have whatever's left, and we made it happen the way we made it happen. Of course, we try to figure out how to make the bacon from the fat, from the what do you call
fat back and everything.
That's not. Yeah, we'll just say fat back. I don't think it's fat. I forgot to call that part where you eat the bacon from. But either way, pork bellies.
Oh yeah,
pork bellies. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole nine. It's broken down to a science what comes from what when you break down a pig.
True.
But I mean, it's just what it is. If we're accustomed to suffering, to always sticking to traditions, because if you think about it, if we actually link ourselves back to Africa, they don't eat half the. So let me stop lying. Depending on where your origin from, you probably don't eat a lot of the stuff that.
Yeah, that's that's why we have a lot of diseases and stuff because our diets. They'll tell you if you find out where you're from, you can actually know how they eat, and your body is based off that.
Right.
So you may come from an area where meat wasn't that available, so you pounding meat every day is why you are in the situation you're in health wise, because you ain't supposed to. Your body can't.
Of course, my friend. Of course.
Potatoes didn't grow everywhere, so
No.
you eat a lot of starch.
No, rice wasn't made everywhere. You know, rice wasn't everywhere. Okra was in Africa.
Yeah,
you know. So I mean, you it's a start, but I mean, even with that, you know, like I said, I like this little transition we took. I mean, we like I said, we're at a point now when we stop getting out of survival mode and condition, and some of us are doing that. But the thing is, a lot of us look down on those people when they change their lifestyle.
So it goes both ways.
It does, and vice versa,
right?
And vice versa, because I don't report, but I never look down on you, even though you try to look down on me.
No, not the
I am
pork.
the better, handsome looking athlete. No,
it's not the pork.
You know
I don't mind the pork.
Right.
It's the sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes is nasty.
That's the part. You eat watermelon.
Watermelon good as fuck.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be stereotypical of watermelon, but you cannot eat sweet potatoes. Like how?
That is the nastiest food. I cannot know. I used to hate, and as I got older, I made a point not to eat. I'll eat beets before I eat sweet potatoes.
God, I ain't eat no beets.
I eat the hell out of some beets and some squash too.
Squash, I can do squash, but beets, I can't do beets. You know, I don't even own Beats by Dre.
Oh, beets is be on point. Beets is gonna keep you looking young. Get rid of wrinkles around on your forehead, man. You start eating some more beets. Put some beets in your life.
That's what Stuart told me one time. He looked at me. He said, "You look young, but when I look under your eyes, I said, you a bastard."
No, like I'm telling you, man. Vegetables the way. It's a little bit of fruits and some vegetables. Yeah, no.
And
but
it's funny you said a little bit of fruits, and because a lot of us don't realize fruits aren't that great for us because they have a lot of sugar inside in them too. So you have to be careful.
Not in the amount of what we eat,
right?
Not like I said, they're good for you, but not in great, you know. It's like people when they go into the Daniel, what's it called, the Jacob's diet.
Yeah,
Jacob's diet.
Oh God.
Vegetables are always cool, but they feel that it should be a lot of fruit. But no, you should look at fruit as a healthy dessert.
Yeah. Because it's seasonal. Fruit is really seasonal. Like you ate apples during that time of the year.
You don't eat watermelon in wintertime.
Right.
You eat watermelon when there's supposed to be seeds in them. Same thing with grapes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't eat seedless grapes.
Exactly.
You eat seedless grapes. They're the nastiest grapes I still don't like.
I think you should, like, everything you say should be like voided out because you don't eat sweet potato pie. Like I just can't trust you now because you don't eat sweet potato pie.
Your daughter trust me. That's all that really matters.
I mean, it was a whole song about sweet potato pie.
That's the difference. Sweet potato pie. That's things. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh yeah,
let's stay on subject.
Okay. I
Leave Domino out of this in his song. As a matter of fact, I heard the other day, and I turned that joint up in my car.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, he flowed on the beat and everything.
So but we and the thing about it, we've got so comfortable with being survivors and being conditioned in a certain way, we refuse to break out of those habits, you know.
And that's scary. That's scary.
It is scary
because we get comfortable with certain things. Like, for instance, we're comfortable with struggling. Like, we really are comfortable with struggling. Like, we even teach that. That is taught in Black churches. You know, the rich man can't go to heaven. Okay, I doubt that everybody in heaven is gonna be broke. I don't vision that. Like, I don't think heaven is gonna be a bunch of broke people.
No, never that.
However, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But however, I do believe, I understand that you're trying to say that, you know, your riches won't get you in heaven. However, you should use another line instead of that, because seeing people put all their money into church and you get rich off of them is why people look at your church the way that they do. How can you tell me rich man can go to church, but my pastor's riding better than me and I'm paying his salary? That's a whole totally different subject. But we love the suffering of
church getting tax-free money.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Right. You're trying to pay no taxes. You're paying tithes. Offerings are cool. I can do an offering all day.
Right. Tithes is taxes.
Tithes is taxes.
Actually, I think that's what it actually means is taxes. But
and it's in the Old Testament. And technically, you live in the New Testament. That's what you're practicing.
And that's supposed to be your giving to God. So I should be able to take 10% of whatever I feel as though I earn and go in my backyard and burn it.
You can do that.
Yeah. We should bring that up to pastors. Like when they ask for, I say I burnt it.
You got the ashes of it.
Yeah, I burnt it. I mean, you gonna tell me I'm wrong? I love to hear that. Joel Osteen.
Call you.
Yeah. You finding money in your church, then call me. But I think with Young Thug, with Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, with a lot of these other YouTubers who go down this path of bashing.
Right. Timmy.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. Okay,
is he in Spanish?
No.
How did he get that name?
He picked it up like that's, I don't know.
He picked that name, so that's not his real name, by the way.
No.
Okay.
No, that's his what they say, pseudonym?
Pseudonym.
No pseudonym. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot there's another name for it too, but yeah, I got you.
So
we'll go pseudonym.
They look at stuff by saying I'm in a better position so I can tell you, but they don't convey it the way that it should be conveyed. You don't go to somebody and say,
go ahead, see what you're saying.
You broke. You don't deserve this. Well, that turns me off. Because technically, and this is a true statement what I'm about to say. If anybody tells you what you don't deserve, stop paying them. I guarantee you this.
Stop watching them.
Stop watching them. Stop paying them. I guarantee you they'll change their tune. Because how can you tell me what I can't do when you're asking me for money to support your platform?
Patreon accounts, everything. We need to set us up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna set up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna beg y'all for money.
You know what? You could be the next Kevin Samuel.
Oh man, I'm ready.
Get your suit and sunglasses.
You know,
be all oiled up and clean.
You know, have you ever seen a picture of him happy?
No.
Think about that. I thought about that today.
Oh,
that's scary. If you're living your dreams, why are you not happy?
Is that what he told you he was living his dream?
I'm just saying. If you're telling people that this high value. So one of my favorite movies of all time is Serenity.
Okay.
It used to be called Firefly. It was about this crew of people. They flew on the ship and everything, and it was pretty cool. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's actually the black guy in Doctor Strange. He's the black guy that's going to fight Doctor Strange. Yeah, he was actually in the movie.
Okafor, I got you.
Yeah, yes. That's how you pronounce it.
Yes. Okay. Name. Yes, I forgot his name. Show something. Shawado Okafor.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great actor. I like him. Yeah. And he was in this movie, and he wasn't playing a villain. It was interesting. He wasn't a villain, but he was a guy who believed in his cause. And there was a scene where him and the hero of the movie were talking, and the hero of the movie said, "You trying to make a better life for you and everybody?" And he said, "No. You think I deserve this life? Think I deserve a better life? I know my sins. I'm not gonna see that. I'm not doing this for that." That's how I view Kevin Samuels.
Oh, okay. So he's your hero. Yeah. And he looks up the same.
And maybe that's how a lot of these. Maybe that's how the Young Thug sees it too. And I think that's where I'm starting to see a lot of people where they realize they're not going to cross over as in the Bible, the Jordan River. They're not going to cross over.
It's understandable, and that's how, in a sense, that's how you're supposed to speak, but without the judgmental tone.
Right. Oh no, I agree with you. I don't like that.
That's the thing. And you're right. You're always supposed to, once you know you've done so much negative stuff, you should be living as such. It's in for those who come behind you, set that path for them. So, oh man, that was excellent talk.
Yeah, I like it. I
broke ass. You still broke, man.
Yeah, I tell you, boy, I'm broke.
You're broke.
I'm
wearing Air Jordan shirts. I'm like,
that's a good point. Yeah, the way Jordan calls it.
I'm not.
It's just funny because I know we're winding down, but when you really think about rap music and our music, we are so quick to call people broke. Even when you have people who go and who supposedly be entrepreneurs, they'll be like, if you work at a 9 to 5, ew. It's like,
but you got to start somewhere. But even with that, that is the now in the narrative, and I think that people will forget about the narrative of how. Because when I watch it always remember where it started on the street,
true,
at a party in the Bronx. You know, everything took off from there. There wasn't in a.
What did KRS-One tell you?
So
what he told you rap started at?
The Bronx.
Okay.
The
What did MC Shan tell you?
He was on crack. He was on drugs. He was on something. I don't give a damn what he said.
Y'all need to look it up. One of the greatest battles.
He's still number one. So
he said he writes a diss record every year to the. He said I would never forget that. He said when they were doing the little beat documentaries. He said every year he writes a diss song to the top 10 rappers.
That's right.
That year, I say, damn.
Hey man.
Before we go, tell me, how do you explain the homeless guy that people see as one of the greatest rappers, Andre 3000?
What?
He look homeless, and when kids see him in there, because he does a commercial with Zendaya, and the kids look at him like, who's that old homeless guy? You sitting there like, yo, that's the dopest MC ever. They look at him like, he looks homeless. He walks to Atlanta, nobody bobs or anything. You see him, you be like, yo, that's the dopest MC. Your child look at like, should we give him $1, daddy? Like, nah, he should be giving us $1. He said, like, how do you, it's just like,
us $100.
Exactly. How do you explain that to your child that that's actually one of the best MCs ever? Like Jay Electronica. How do you explain to your kids, like, yo, that man had a 10-year run off of one song? One song?
Hey, man, I've seen
a 10-year run.
I've seen him perform. He's the truth, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's before you even took off. That's before you took off. True thing. So,
well, one song, 10 years.
This way, man. Put it this way. I went to see him in 2008. Not him. I went to this Rock the Bells concert 2008 in Maryland, and he got a rise out of the crowd. And Wale's from there, and people were just like, whatever. They pretty much, your favorite rapper, Wale.
First off, I had a choice between him and Drake. I chose Wale. I'm sticking to my choice. And
good choice. I think he's just one of the people that feel himself a little bit too much.
Okay, that's fair.
He's dope, but he's just, it gets in the way of.
He has female tendencies.
Yeah. So does Drake.
Yeah. But
he has light skin.
Yeah, Drake is more light skin. Like he got light skin tendencies. Yeah. Like he does stuff that he knows he's rich and light skin, he could get away with. Right. Like if he was in the hood, Drake would be dead by now with some of the stuff he you did somebody girl.
Let me ask you a question. You think if Drake would have slapped Chris Brown on stage like that?
Well, Chris Brown would have killed him. He would have beat. I'm not going to use that as a joke. He would have beat him black. That day, Drake would have been. I believe
he would have been dark that day.
Yeah. And then he probably would have went to the girl that got Drake chest big enough to go slap and probably slapped her. I ain't trying to be funny, but that was a different. That's a different Chris Brown. I mean, we see a different. But no matter how much you replay that slap, the one thing is true. Will Smith is a bad man. We can say what we want to say. He's a bad man. Because number one, he slapped somebody. Number two, he left the country after he slapped somebody. Number three, he's in a whole other country while everybody's trying to pick up the pieces of the slap. Meditating.
He's still slapping people now.
He probably
slapping people now.
Probably going around there like, I'm hungry. Oh, man. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., You get what I sent you? I sent both of y'all.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm gonna tell you why I sent y'all that. Because I got a bombshell I'm gonna drop on the show. You want me to share it with you now? It's gonna rock the
Well,
world.
we talked about it already yesterday. Christian Laettner was gay. Oh, I'm sorry, bisexual.
Anyway, I'll go ahead and share it with you because I got facts. I'm not gonna share the facts, but I'll share it. Kobe Bryant is the most overrated NBA player in history, and I have facts to prove it.
Oh, okay.
Don't hate me. Don't get mad at me. Listen to me, and then.
So you know what platform we're gonna be on?
YouTube.
It's gonna be YouTube or the YouTube channel. What YouTube channel people should be checking?
I gotta ask them.
Okay.
But don't worry. Before we get on,
we'll post it on.
We're gonna post it on all our. We're gonna do the behind the scenes on Instagram. We're gonna do a quick little 10-minute to let everybody know, hey, where we at. This at there on Facebook and Instagram. And then once the show go live, then we're gonna shoot out the link.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I thought about this. Not only am I going to drop that bombshell, but I'm going to tell you why LeBron James is better.
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, okay. Kobe didn't stand. Jordan never.
Well, you know how I feel about that.
He's mad that Jordan's better than you. He's better than Christian Laettner. He's better than Johnny Dawkins. He's better than anybody who used to wear the ugly ass blue jersey. Stepping on that little creep, that campus sucks. Campus does suck. Remember, you've been on the campus. Remember, we've been to Chapel Hill.
And we got blessed.
Blessed with what?
The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about theology temple they got that sits,
You saw
under the bottom
I
trees.
have the picture of the beautiful angel Michael with my daughter.
What?
Yes.
You sold your daughter to the Illuminati or something?
No, you didn't see that? Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
I have the picture with my daughter and the beautiful angel Michael in the same picture.
No, right. Sure. Okay, my son.
And tomorrow I'll explain to you why Magic Johnson will always be better than Jordan. What you got to say about tomorrow?
Make sure the same drugs you did tonight, I do them tomorrow.
Oh man, but yes, we will be on another platform 2 p.m. Our friend Aubrey will be debuting his new platform, his new show. We'll have all the details.
Hey, you said details will come up when you say it's behind the scenes or whatever.
Yes.
That deal.
And what makes it even better is we'll be doing that at an all-black establishment. So always support Black business. So right here in the Low Country, Kwame Brown, a Black business, Kwame Brown, where they teach trading and coding, Kwame Brown.
I hope he shows up.
I hope he does too.
He shows up too.
Yes.
Snatches his little ass up. Oh, that shit down. Taylor. I'm watching, he might be that one person watching the whole
I'm at like a fanboy.
You'd be a fanboy there.
Yeah,
take pictures. I remember I'm recording too.
Take pictures with look at me.
This fake motherfucker. Holy shit. Man, look, hey, Carmen, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me tell you what he really said about you. He really said about you. How you really feel about you.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Like, fake ass my shirt. I'm gonna fuck you up, bro.
Oh man, but yes.
You better duck. I'm coming, bro.
Yes. And we're gonna do a show Sunday.
Yeah, we can do something.
All right, so so you're gonna see more coming out. And of course, we got another episode of a podcast about nothing coming soon. So hey man, we're trying to do it. We're gonna keep it going and just keep looking out for us. Anything you want to add?
That's it, man. Check out for us tomorrow.
Yes. Be blessed, be happy, and remember, let your soul glow.
Really?
Yeah.